2021 saw the release of We Can Be Heroes onto Netflix, Robert Rodriguez's love letter to children's entertainment and an enjoyable superhero family comedy. With that one gaining such positive reception, let's take a look at its predecessor, which according to Rotten Tomatoes is the director's lowest rated film to date.
Ho 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 ho, delightfully devilish, Seymour.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to Delightfully Devilish, the show where we discuss films that all at once meet the criteria of being the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm your host, Jukebox Harry, and today we're going to be delving back into the mid-2000s period of 3D adventure films. The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl in 3D is a 2005 science fiction children's adventure fantasy movie directed by Robert Rodriguez, the creator of such films as Machete, the Mariachi Trilogy, and Sin City. He also made a foray into children's entertainment with the notorious Spy Kids trilogy. It was a series of low-budget, high-concept films which preached to family entertainment. And he tried to continue that trend with The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl, and it did not go over well with audiences. Today's film has been called the nadir of the director's career, but for me, I've always had a positive association with this film. I saw it when I was 9 years old, going to my friend's birthday party, and I remember developing my first crush on Lavagirl herself. I watched it again years later with my boys Josh and Benji because we wanted to watch something ridiculous, so bad that it was good, something really laughable. And the film managed to hit the perfect note for me. I loved this movie as a kid for unironic reasons. I loved it as an adult for ironic reasons. But when I put myself into that analytical mindset, do I really love the film? Let's find out. The movie hasn't even started and already we've got that unnecessary 3D going. You know, typically movies start with quotes from real life figures, but since this is the beginning of the film, has she already said this line in some past narrative that hasn't been told? Is she going to say the line later? This isn't how quotes work, Rodriguez.
Sharkboy was not always half shark, half boy.
And half pig.
His father studied great white sharks and called his son Sharkboy. But one day, an incredible, mysterious storm appeared. It swept away the entire laboratory. Sharkboy was completely alone. Almost completely.
If he wasn't actually alone, then the use of the word almost completely nullifies the word completely. Come on. Sharkboy and Lavagirl is almost entirely green screen cinema with cheap cartoonish special effects. It gives the film a distinctive silly charm and also allowed Rodriguez to save money and have more creative control. But there are some really bad moments. If you ever look closely at characters standing on CGI backdrops, you'll really see what I mean.
The sharks raised him as one of their own.
I like to believe this is the same thing that happened to former Prime Minister Harold Holt.
You must keep moving to survive. Always go forward, never back.
Forward, not backward. Upward, not forward. And always twirling, twirling, twirling towards freedom.
Sharkboy!
That's Taylor Lautner, the star of the Twilight franchise, Grown Ups 2, The Ridiculous Six, Traces, Abduction. He really peaked in this film.
Then one night, I was visited by a glowing light. An amazing girl with purple flames for hair.
Girl, it's fucking pink.
I called her Lavagirl. She smiled at me, for that seemed to be her name.
What kind of parent gives their kid a stupid cunt name like that?
And that's what I did this summer.
Enough! Someone is picking that up, and it's not gonna be me.
As someone who works as a unit assistant in the entertainment industry, a big part of my job is going around the set and cleaning up shit that's just been left lying around. So, fuck you, kids.
Linus, you're next.
This summer, I met a new friend who was half dork, half boy. I called him Dork Boy.
With the character Linus, there is something interesting about the combination between the actor's inexperience and the very, very, very childishly awful nature of his dialogue. And it will either make you laugh really hard or want to punch him in the face like the baby from Ice Age.
Linus, you just earned a minus for your behavior today.
Hey, that rhymes.
Dreaming keeps you from seeing what's right here in front of you. This isn't a dream.
No dreaming. Got it.
What do you have there?
It's my dream journal.
you're going to very quickly realize just how oversaturated this film is with the word dream, or some variation of it. IMDb did a count and tracked 188 uses of that word. Now, me and the boys made a game of taking a drink every time that someone said the word dream in some form, and we went through a 6-pack each and had to stop. And that's the first time I've ever had to stop a drinking game halfway through a film.
Check it out. Sharkboy gets shocked by electric eels, and then they feed on his cooked flesh.
Wow, Linus. Your skills are weak.
Can he say that?
Linus chases Max onto the playground to claim his dream journal, and after he somehow manages to escape, he opts not to leave the park, rather to inexplicably climb another part of the playground with no foreseeable goal.
Ugh. Idiot.
It's groin! It works at so many levels!
I'll bring you a revised edition tomorrow.
I don't think this film is familiar with the concept of a revised edition if you actually consider the script they ended up using. Seriously, the basis for this film was actually the dreams of Racer Rodriguez, the son of director Robert Rodriguez, with some additional rewrites done by his sister. I don't know how far they got into the writing process, but I can definitely put some money on the idea that rewrites were not a core part of the script. Also, Max sleeps in bunk beds, but he doesn't have any siblings in the film. I mean, it would be practical for sleepovers, but Max doesn't really have much in the way of friends, so I think that's just incredibly wasteful. Though it has been said that originally in the script, Max had a deceased sibling, which caused a lot of friction between the marriage of his parents, but in the end, that all got left out, so we have a lot of unanswered questions and a very impractical bunk bed.
Max, wake up. Dream, Max. Open your eyes, Max. Eyes open. And dream. Stay dreaming.
Wake up!
You're simultaneously telling him to wake up and dream. That's a very counterintuitive statement.
Please don't let me have to go to school. They'll make fun of me, I know it.
Who are you talking to?
I wish I could just escape this loser world and go to Planet Jewel.
Okay, so I can disregard a lot of things in the mythology and the writing in this script. I can get past Sharkboy and Lavagirl because they're fun ideas. I can get past a character named Linus just so people can make minus jokes to create silly rhymes and puns. But when you name a planet Drool, that's where I draw the line. It's very obvious this film was conceptualized by a child, because the only other person I can think of coming up with mythology that bad is L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, that's a cheap shot at Scientology, but also, that's a cheap shot coming from someone who's read Battlefield Earth. I've read about the Cyclos named Turl and Kerr and Zit, and their addiction to the drug Cabango. Seriously, I can see Scientologists unironically loving this film for its terrible mythology, because if you're bent over backwards to take the crap from Battlefield Earth and say, yes, our holy Lord and Savior wrote that, and yes, we must worship it, then I don't see why you can't worship a film like this.
Guess I didn't dream hard enough.
Turn off your computer screen when you go to sleep, dickhead. That's a waste of electricity. Somehow I don't think the film's villain is going to be very happy about that.
I just wish anything could happen so I wouldn't have to go to school today.
That's not realistic, Max. It's bad enough your father's head is in the clouds, but not you too, okay? Not you too. Just push that dream aside and move on.
Or you could just show, like, a little bit of sympathy, Samantha.
Did we have to move so close to school?
Your father thought we'd save money on gas. Come right home after school today, because there's some things we need to talk about.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's going to prevent him from taking a detour. Also, the protagonist is a middle-class Caucasian child who gets bullied at an American school, an environment that has become widely recognized for its school shootings. Max lives right across the road from the school. He could shoot the place up from his bedroom window if he wanted to. I don't condone doing that, but I've got to say, it's kind of convenient.
Who knows where tornadoes come from? Well, when cold air mixes with hot air, it can form a tornado, as the hot and cold chase each other around and around and around.
To this film's credit, this is actually how I learned about where tornadoes came from. I actually learned more about the weather and electricity from watching films like Sharkboy and Lavagirl and Tango and Cash than I did from taking science class at Baldwin High School.
Linus took my journal. I did not.
Linus! You get a minus for misconduct.
There is a lot of films where an actor can save a mediocre script, and the script in Sharkboy and Lavagirl goes way beyond mediocrity, way over the horizon.
One more time, Linus, and we'll have to change your name to Minus.
And yet, with a flawless casting of George Lopez, he saves it.
He ruined my dream journal! I did not! Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!
Sincerity's overwhelming.
I think I'm gonna weep.
You know what? Enough.
You're in my class, not the other way around. I know everything, and you know nothing.
Words cannot encapsulate just how much laughter erupted in my living room when George Lopez said these lines. Seriously, this moment right here is the peak of Sharkboy and Lavagirl. I never appreciated George Lopez enough as a kid. As an adult, I have so much respect for him being in this film.
At the end of class, both of you will report to the principal's office. With your parents!
Jesus Christ, that came right out of Trainspotting.
I'm looking for Max.
9-year-old me definitely would have stood up and said, I'm Max. And if you look at Taylor Dooley now, 25-year-old me would have done the same thing.
She's hot.
I get it. That seemed unnecessary.
Go with us to Planet Drool. We'll explain on the way. We're going to Planet Drool?
Haha, kids love tenuous references to Jaws, right? I mean, the Master of Disguise recognized that, and that's considered peak comedy, right?
It's my home planet, just outside our solar system.
You should know, Max. You made it up.
Ooh, so we're gonna blur the lines of reality and fiction in this film. Oh, I just hope I can keep up with it, not like in The Mouth of Madness.
I can't go with you. Why not? Because you're not real.
You're not real, man.
And when I open my eyes, you'll be gone.
Fuck off!
You better go with him.
Yeah, no matter what, you should always listen to George Lopez.
Put these on, everybody. Blue goggles for the boys, pink for the girls.
Lavagirl, I love you, but your gender roles, they can fuck off.
Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune.
We're just gonna ignore Uranus in a kid's film which is always going for the cheap shots with the jokes and also wants to teach kids. God, why was it that they drew the line there?
Another happy landing.
I have powers.
More than any of us. Don't you know that? Everything that is, or was, began with a dream.
Oh, she said it!
45 minutes till the darkness destroys Planet Drool.
The darkness? So we're copying the never-ending story now?
The dream layer is on the other side of the planet. That's where your dreams are going bad. We have to go there and reverse it.
We'll have to travel through the passage of time, catch the train of thought, swim down the stream of consciousness, and skate across the sea of confusion, now covered in ice.
Why'd you do that, Max? Why'd you freeze the ocean?
What?
Ow!
Taylor Lautner's got a skill for delayed reactions, not only because it took him a second to realize that he was meant to be in pain, but also because he put a pause between ow and shh.
Ow!
That's gotta be a first.
The darkness! Run!
It's precisely what a racist would say.
This is like a bad dream! Where is everyone? They're mostly trapped on Mount Neverrest.
By Mr. Electric.
But Planet Drool's a place for kids to dream and have endless fun.
Once you get on, you can't get off.
Kids aren't allowed to rest. Because if they rest, they sleep. And if they sleep,
Wait for it.
they dream.
Whoop that ass! Whoop that ass!
And if they dream,
It takes power away from Mr. Electric.
Hey, that's like a pun, only shit.
Well. If it isn't Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
That's fucking awesome!
To this film's credit, Sharkboy's fight scenes are pretty great. Taylor Lautner choreographed them himself and shows off his skills as a martial artist incredibly well. They're very video game-esque, but as a kid I loved that. If those CGI fangs weren't there before, did you get some DLC when no one was looking? Yeah, the script in Sharkboy and Lavagirl is half Racer Rodriguez's dreams and half terrible puns put in by the director's sister.
Where is your dream journal?
Great thinking, Sharky. We can read his dreams out loud and turn everything back to the way it was. I may even realize my true identity.
Your true identity? We haven't had any previous mention of this as a plot point.
Close your eyes and dream. If Max can't remember his dreams, maybe he can redream them.
He could dream us out of here.
Dream, Max. Now, what do you see? If you happen to dream about who I am and how I fit into this world, it would really be helpful for me to know.
No distractions. You steer him off course, we could be lost in a sea of dreams.
I'm sorry, I'm desperate.
So am I. I've had commitment issues for a long time. Then they awaken Max's robot friend, who resembles a giant version of Linguo from The Simpsons, and ask it questions.
Am I king of the ocean or what?
No, sir.
Note, former Prime Minister Harold Holt owns that title.
How do I save Planet Jewel?
The answer is in your dreams.
These are his dreams, genius. I thought you were smart.
If you go to the land of milk and cookies,
Of course.
that's where the good dreams are, where the answers are.
The land of milk and cookies is a safe, sweet place.
That's not fucking safe. I'm a vegan.
That's the train of thought.
And it'll speed you directly to the land of milk and cookies. The rest is up to you.
All you have to do is keep it on track. How can we keep it on track if there is no track?
How can we get back on the right track? Jump, Deacon, jump!
Ew! Stick to rotten fish, please.
Chocolate.
Chocolate!
The land of milk and cookies.
You're saying milk, like it's a disease.
If you dream giant cookies, something has to be created to consume giant cookies.
That does not make sense.
Cookie giants! My parents. They seem happy together. Is that your dream? We had a dream of family. It hasn't been coming true lately. Most dreams don't come true on their own. You have to make them true. Takes a lot of work. Not easy. But not impossible either.
She really can't shut her mouth, can she?
Still empty-handed, I see.
He very clearly has one hand full, you doofus.
Go to sleep.
Not like that. Sing him a lullaby.
Okay, I do not condone this, but fuck it. I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna take a drink every time they say dream in the song.
Dream, 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 dream. Your turn.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dreamy little bleep. Dream, 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 dream.
I think it's already half empty.
It's working. Keep it up, Shark Boy.
Just relax, lay about, or my fist will put you out. Dream, 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 dream. Take your time, but beware, there's darkness in the air. Dream, 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 dream.
Dream about me next, Max.
But
You need to know who I am. Not just destruction or a simple flame. Dream of me as something good.
we've got a third left, people.
Don't despair, step right up.
Glass of water, here's a cup.
Dream, 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 dream.
He's having a nightmare. Wake up, Max, wake up.
There's still a little bit left in there. But that was brutal. That was nearly an entire can just from one song.
Too much sauce, son.
And I don't know how the fuck that was meant to... Oh, how it was meant to be a lullaby.
Stop that racket, Sharkboy! You're giving him nightmares!
I would probably have nightmares too if Taylor Lautner was dressed in a shark costume and screaming that at me while I was in bed.
This may come as a shock to you. Feel the power!
That's a pun.
Got it.
It's empty! I forgot to dream of gas. Max!
So how strict is the mythology in this film? If you have to dream of gasoline when you're dreaming of some kind of vehicle, do you also have to dream of a functioning nervous system when you dream about fictitious creations like Sharkboy and Lavagirl?
A good question. For another time.
As ridiculous as it is, watching Taylor Lautner jump around with his admittedly impressive martial arts skills as he strikes enemies that have been animated to walk into him, that is fun.
A banana split? It's a banana split boat. Then let's split.
If you wanted to mix up the drinking game a bit, some people could drink every time the word dream is said. Some people could drink every time bad CGI is there. And some people could drink every time a terrible pun is made. Y'all are getting fucked up, people.
All dreamers must dream.
What the hell does that mean?
How much time do we have?
Don't ask.
You're not helping things, Sharkboy. That was essential information he was asking for.
Behold the ice castle. Can you cool down enough to get across? I'd have to be asleep to do that.
Oh, you heard her, Sharkboy. Start singing, I'll crack open another one. Nope, never mind. Everyone makes it across the bridge, but George Lopez takes them to meet the villain who has taken over the planet Drool.
I made it much cooler. I am Minus.
What a twist.
Where is my father? Check the bottom of the ocean.
Maybe the real twist is that Sharkboy's father was former Prime Minister Harold Holt.
Once I figure out how to freeze this planet's core, all of your powers will disappear. Powers? What powers?
Well, probably the power to shoot lava or generate rocket propulsion. You know, the powers you've been showing us this entire film.
When darkness falls, the rest of your dreams will be destroyed, and I will rule planet Drool. Blah, blah, blah. Threat, threat, threat.
Blah, 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 blah.
That actually seems like the writing process they would have gone through in this film. Blah, blah, dream, pun, dream, pun. George Lopez!
How much time do we have, Sharkboy? Who cares?
Will you just answer the goddamn question, Fish Wolf?
They're singing at a frequency my highly trained ears find disturbing!
Sing louder! Sing higher!
I felt this way before, so insecure!
You don't want to be too close to him when he explodes.
Max retrieves his dream journal.
First things first.
Something to release.
Lavagirl! You have a lava bike! I do? I do! Sharkboy. Your father really is at the bottom of the ocean. He's in a submarine.
Okay, so I've shoved a completely unnecessary amount of Harold Holt jokes into this episode, but given that there is a conspiracy theory that in 1967 he swam out into the Point Nepean Ocean and was picked up by a submarine that was either Chinese, Japanese, or Russian, for all we know, he actually could be the father of Sharkboy in this film. Maybe Harold Holt exists in the same universe as Sharkboy and Lavagirl. So maybe he was a fictional character that bridged his way into reality and then became Prime Minister. Wow, that's a mindfuck.
Maybe there's even a section on my true identity. Lavagirl, no!
Well, who didn't see that coming?
Why did you make me out of lava? Why, Max?
Well, if he made you out of a different substance, you wouldn't be you, you'd be an entirely different character.
Just let her cool down. She's just blowing off steam.
If Taylor Dooley was legally an adult when she said that line, this is where I would chime in with, my name is now Steam. But she's a child, and I am not a Catholic priest.
Everything I touch, I destroy.
Hey, don't worry, Lavagirl, you can make a career out of destroying everything you touch. Hell, you can become a conservative politician. Our heroes go to the Crystal Caves. That's not actually what it's called, that's just a level in Donkey Kong 64, and I've got a very big appreciation for that game, so yeah.
Do you want some ice? It'll keep you cool.
Giving ice to kids? Huh.
I got it!
Ironic.
How much time? We're out of time!
Now you tell me.
Well, that was pointless.
She's not gonna die, is she?
Come on, Sharkboy.
Sharkboy displays a super speed, which he has literally never used before, despite all the moments in the film where he could have used it to help others. He reenacts the ending of Tekken 2 and throws Lavagirl's body into a volcano, resurrecting her.
Whoa! How'd you get here so fast?
Hold off Mr. Electric while I deal with Linus.
What is it with the characters in this movie just refusing to answer questions? Fuck. Dream about that.
I've become what you feared most. Minus.
What, a plus?
How'd you get in here? I'm the Daydreamer. Able to dream with my eyes open.
Shit just got real.
The two engage in a dream-powered showdown, and Max uses bubbles to counteract Linus's piranhas, but then come the butterflies. What the hell were the butterflies meant to do?
Brainstorm.
That is definitely a lot more brains than the ones that went into writing this film.
Brain freeze. Brain fart.
I don't know, that sounds like chemical warfare. Ugh. So this gag reminds me of another one from Zoom. Another critically panned family superhero comedy with terrible visual effects and unnecessary 3D. And interestingly enough, I had a friend point out to me that he actually used to think Zoom was a Robert Rodriguez film because of its low-budget CGI, its silly campiness, its family adventure comedy. The only difference is, I actually like this film. Congratulations, Obi-Wan, you have the high ground. The two make up, inexplicably fast, for no real reason except Linus apparently having experienced the cliche "we're not so different" realization.
Don't let me fall!
Sorry, but what are you actually doing right now? Max rescues Linus, Lavagirl realizes that her purpose is to provide light, and Mr. Electric has gone renegade.
He's headed to Earth.
He's going to try and destroy you in your sleep. All this time I've been asleep?
This is quite a shock. On the other hand, it's not surprising in the least.
So like in The Mouth of Madness, Sharkboy and Lavagirl decides to blur the lines of reality and fiction with a convoluted lack of internal logic which makes completely zero sense and just collapses in on itself. But on the plus side, now we have two George Lopez's sharing the screen.
You dreamt me as a big brown bad guy. I'm not bad.
And Max's mum gets sucked into the tornado, which is apparently strong enough that Max's father had to hold onto a tree to keep her at bay, but the moment he lets go, he's fine. And how come that tire didn't burn?
We need to defeat that guy.
I can take him.
So that was a fucking lie.
Your journal.
It's okay.
Except that that journal was destroyed in the dream world, and apparently what happens in the dream world happens in real life. At this point, it's increasingly clear that the writers had no clue what kind of internal logic they were offering.
Remember, there are no dumb ideas.
Maybe we can freeze his circuits.
That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
He really is this film's saving grace. I love George Lopez so much.
We're in the middle of Texas in August.
Call Ted Cruz. He knows how to make sure Texas freezes.
Is this yours? How'd you find it?
Yeah, we are really in the mouth of madness here, people. Lopez's daughter freezes her electricity dad, families reunite, Linus stops being a butthole, and Sharkboy goes looking for Harold Holt. The end. Ew, Weinstein. Ugh. Anyway, is The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl in 3D a good film?
In a small way, yes.
it really does astound me that on Rotten Tomatoes, Sharkboy and Lavagirl has such a low rating from audiences. Now, critics I can get, but I feel like audiences don't really give this film enough appreciation for its ridiculously campy charm. Naturally, there is heaps to criticize. This film was made for kids, and it was basically made by kids when you consider the basis for the screenplay. And the production of this film moved so fast that it finished before advertisements were even ready, so it's clear that they didn't take much time to reconsider the script's excessive number of puns or endless use of the word dream. And a lot of the time, the depth of childishness this film will explore can be cringe-inducing. And whether I am a 9-year-old or a 25-year-old, I will never accept a Planet Named Drool. I will get over so many things to enjoy this film, but a Planet Named Drool, no. When you're watching this through adult eyes, the low quality of the CGI is more glaring than ever. And since this film is estimated to be as reliant on green screen as Star Wars The Attack of the Clones was, it's constantly in your face without mercy. It took 11 different visual effects companies working at this movie to achieve the look it has. Sure, it's completely animated and cheesy, but it's colourful and creative. The zany colours are a nice distraction for the mind of a child, and adults who can embrace the sheer silliness of it should hopefully be able to get a kick out of it. But for a lot of people, it's going to be a little too much. I enjoyed this, and I enjoyed Spy Kids 3D. I've got a special place in my heart for Robert Rodriguez's over-the-top childish ambitions when they're done to the extent that they're so campy they're hilarious. But objectively, I honestly think Sharkboy and Lavagirl is a great good bad film. I mean, every single decision made in this film seems to have been the easiest or laziest one. They shot almost all of the film on green screen using low budget visual effects, composing a script out of lazy storytelling, cheap puns and a child's dreams, and then fast tracked it all to the big screen. But the whole time, Rodriguez knew exactly what he was doing. He was going for the campiest, silliest approach to filmmaking that he could conjure, and the result is a film you can laugh with or laugh at. Objectively, Sharkboy and Lavagirl is ridiculous, but for its over-the-top nature, my friends and I were in stitches watching this, so it made for a pleasurable viewing experience. And I even have an appreciation for the cast performances. The actors had to play one-dimensional, childish roles with repetitive dialogue that got cringeworthy at points. But it looks like Rodriguez let them have fun with the part, and I really respect him for that. Above all, George Lopez, I really can't say enough positive things about. Nobody in this film has the same passionate charisma or comic timing of George Lopez as Mr. Electric. He goes completely uncaged with this film and ends up being the funniest creation in Robert Rodriguez's filmography. The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl in 3D gets 6 dreams out of 10. The ridiculously repetitive script gets cringeworthy, and the cheesy visual style as well as the overt sense of childishness can easily deter people. But if you can look past that and embrace the over-the-top campiness of the film, it makes for a great good bad viewing. It also has George Lopez at the peak of his cinematic career, and it has charms which I think are still going to hold up for a lot of child viewers today. And that does it for today's episode of Delightfully Devilish, you guys. If there are any movies you want to see me discuss on this show, please leave them in the comment section below. If you want to see more episodes, please hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, until next time, I've been your host, Jukebox Harry. Dream on.
Dream on.